we tend to be relaxed. We tend to be relaxed once we think, I have a job, I know how to document, I understand my workmates, I understand my husband. Hi guys, welcome back into a new vlog. So in today's vlog, I am going to share to you some tips on how not to lose your B2 level. So I am guilty that sometimes I can say that I am not having the B2 level I had when I first passed the exam. And I know some of you also. That's why I come up with this topic on how not to lose your B2 level. So this is also dedicated to all nurses out there in the Philippines who already have their B2 language certificate but still are waiting for their visa to come to Germany. So there is a tendency that we might lose track or we might forget some things that are in German. So we have those on our notes written, but since we do not use it often, we lose track of it. So I only have 3 tips. These are the tips that I found very important. And now let us start. So the first one is, of course, very, very obvious and very, very important. Always use the language. So may it be that you are still in the Philippines and you are waiting for your visa, make sure that you use the language to your maybe classmates, maybe you have a group chat with your classmates from the German school and you can use that. And for those people who are already in Germany, speak the language. So make sure that you speak the language not just from work. You have to speak the language also to some native friends. It is important because once you have some native friends, they speak the language naturally and they have some vocabulary that we do not use. The tendency is that once we do not communicate or once we do not mingle with them, we use the same basic vocabulary and verbs that we just used at work. So we are also guilty to that. We Filipinos wanted to be in a circle also with Filipinos because it gives us the feeling to be at home. We can speak our own dialect, we can speak our language, Tagalog, and we just wanted to be with our co-Filipinos. But it is also important that we have some native friends or some other nationality friends, let's say from Poland or from Italy, with whom you can only speak German to each other. It is very, very important. And to those of you who came to Germany and maybe met the love of your life, you have a boyfriend or you have a husband already, make sure that your first language is German. So it is important because once you have someone to be with for the rest of your life and you live in the country where the language is spoken, it is very advisable that we should adopt and have that language practiced. So I would advise that you speak to each other in German. He can teach you things, he can correct you at home, and you can adapt and you can use that outside to your work and to your friends. It gives you more confidence also. So that is the first. Make sure to use the language. This might be a unfair maybe for your husband who wanted to learn English from you. But I would say, since we are in the German country, make sure you have the German as your first language. Maybe you can, I don't know, you can have it on your own way. Maybe you can swap sometimes. Maybe you can speak English and at the same time German. It's up to you, but make sure that you would benefit first because of the country where we live. Now, the second is you have to read magazines or book, watch movies and watch TV in German, also books and magazine in German, and maybe the very latest thing nowadays, or watch YouTube in German language. Once we watch movies or news or TV, watch YouTube in German, there are a lot of words that they use that maybe we knew before. We knew at school some verbs and vocabulary before that we really studied well, some deep vocabs and some deep verbs that we knew before. It will come back to your hypothalamus, to the center of your brain. It will give you the memory of those words, and the tendency is that you will use it again. So, and aside from that, it is not just the words and the vocabs that we already knew that will come back. We will also learn some new words that will add up to our vocabs. So that is very, very important. And I know it is very hard for us to watch film in German maybe, but the more we get used to it, the more we will understand it without having translation. But of course, advisable is that you have a translation during the first time that you will watch movies in German. So that will really, really boost, and that will maintain our level to the language. So the last one that I found very, very important also is when you noticed maybe you lived already in the country for like 10 years, or let's just say you've been there for 6 years, and you've noticed we ourselves can be urteilen, we can judge ourselves if we lose our level, if we lose some vocabs, or maybe your friends can say that to you, or your workmates can say that to you, or your husband. So there are times where we can say, oh, I think my level or my vocabulary, my verbs are not at pace already. I think I need to do refreshment. Refreshment on your own may be just going through your notes before and books. Your notes and books before can refresh you already with some vocabulary and some verbs that you learned before that you're not using it anymore. That is one of the refreshment that I'm saying to you. Or the second is, if it's really, really needed, you can attend to a German school again, maybe just a 1-month refreshment course, and there you will have some new person to mingle with. You can have a new book, you can have some Hausaufgabe, you have the need to do that. You have the need to read some articles. You have the need to explain it in a class, and it brings back to you that excitement, and it brings back some words and some vocabs instead of just using the basic verbs and vocabs that we just use every day, because we don't really need to use some deep verbs and vocabs once we see the same colleagues, the same workmates, once we know how to document in German, just this 1, 2, 3 sentences and done. Once it is very, very important to do the refreshment. So I understand that we tend to be relaxed. We tend to be relaxed once we think, I have a job, I know how to document, I understand my workmates, I understand my husband, I understand my friends with the same basic German vocabs and verbs. But it is also important to not be going back to your own level, but it is important to go up. That is just like building your career. You are not planning to go down to your level, you are planning to go up. So those are the 3 advices. Once again, I'm going to recall: always use the language just first. Second is to maximize and read some magazines, books, watch movies in German or in YouTube. And the third is refresh yourself by reviewing your notes before or going to a school again. So that's it, guys. I hope this helps, and thank you so much for watching my vlog. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys on my next vlog. Ciao!